Welcome back to our English class. How are you doing today? I hope you're feeling great because today we have an interesting topic to discuss. There is news items. Let me ask you something. Have you ever read a newspaper? Or maybe you have watched the news on TV? Or maybe you just scroll through your phone, your Instagram, your TikTok, or your Twitter and see news update there? Yes, news is all around us. But have you ever thought about how news is written? What makes something newsworthy? And what kinds of language is used in news reports? Well, that's exactly what we are going to learn today. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to understand what a news item is, identify the structure of a news item, and recognize the language features used in news writing. Sound good? Let's get started. Okay, let's move to the next slide. There are table of contents, there are developer profile, learning outcomes, materials, and then exercise. So the next slide is developer profile. There is me. My name is Nisa and Laila. I'm a college student in State Islamic Institute of Kediri. And the next is learning objective. The learning objective is students are able to read and respond to a news item text on the theme freelance program by understanding the content of the news, finding key information, and identifying the author's purpose. They can evaluate the fact, issues, and development of news flow in various formats, including print and digital. In addition, learners develop simple inference skill to understand the implied information in the text. So, let's move to the material. First thing first, let's start with what is a news item. What is the news item? News item is a text which informs readers about event of the day. The events are considered newsworthy or important. News item is a type of the text that has the main function or communicative purpose to inform readers of or listeners or viewers about events of the day that are considered newsworthy or important. It means if these are an important event that should be known by many people. So, a news item is a type of text that provides information about important events happening around us. This event can be local or national or international. Now, let me ask you this. What the last piece of news you heard or read? Maybe something about sport or politics or maybe a new movie release. Take a moment to think about it. News items can come in different forms. We can find them in newspapers, online articles, TV news reports, or radio broadcasts. No matter where they appear, their main purpose is the same: to inform people about something important. Okay, let's move to the next slide. There is the purpose of news item text. The purpose of news item text is to inform the readers about newsworthy events of the day. Usually, news item text will provide information about the latest or current and factual events. That way, people can always stay updated about what is happening in a certain place. Next, let's move to the generic structure. Now that we know what a news item is, Let's break it down. Every news item follows a clear structure. There are three main parts. There are newsworthy event or event. The second is background event, and then sources. First is event or newsworthy event. What is event or newsworthy event? There is contain the main event that are the subject of the article, the main event that deserve to be news. Simply put, there is a what, where, and where it happened. Next, let's take a look at an example. Newsworthy event or event can be the government officially launched the free lunch program yesterday. So the event is the government officially launched the free lunch program yesterday. Next, the second is background event. The background event or elaborations tell in detail about background of the incident. The detail that should be included in the section are the preparation, location, time of the incident, and other parties involved and the background of the incident. Let's take a look at an example. The program started as a trial in several schools before expanding nationwide. Students receive hot meals and teachers and parents appreciate the initiative. The next is sources. In writing a news item text, don't forget to include sources. The sources can be statements, comments, or opinions from people who are involved or relate to the event. For example, President-elect Prabowo Subianto stated the program will continue every school day and reach rural areas soon. So the sources is from President-elect Prabowo Subianto. C. Its part play an important role in making the news clear and informative. Now, imagine you are a journalist. If you were to write a news item about your school, what event would you cover? A school competition or a special guest visit? Think about it. Alright, now let's talk about the language feature used in news item. News item or news reports have a specific way of writing. Here are 4 key features. There are using simple present tense, and then using saying verbs, and the third using action verbs, and the last is using adverb of time, place, and manner. Let's break it down one by one. The first is using simple present tense. News item text is usually written using simple present tense rules because the information conveyed is still new or hot or important. In addition, news item text is written in simple present tense to describe events that are still ongoing. However, it is not uncommon for a news item text to be written using simple past tense. The next, using saying verbs. What is saying verbs? Saying verbs are verbs that are identical to those that occur during a conversation or saying. Usually, saying verbs will include the result of a conversation between the journalist or anchor and the sources. For example, head of the local search and rescue agency, Wayan Sayatna, said that so far 35 people have died and 16 are still being searched. And the next is using action verbs. Action verbs are verbs that show action performed by the subject or visible to others. For example, Ginting and Kevin are playing badminton in Tokyo Olympic 2020. So the action verb is playing badminton. Do you get it? Okay, let's move to the last language feature is using adverb time, place, and manner. So adverbs are words that explain verbs, adjective, or other words. In this case, the adverb used are times, place, and manner. For example, adverb of times, a powerful earthquake struck Jakarta yesterday morning. So the adverb of time is yesterday morning. And the second, adverb of place. The 6.2 magnitude quake was felt in several parts of the city. So the adverb of place is several parts of the city. And the last, adverbs of manner. People run quickly to open spaces. So the adverb of manner is quickly. So far, do you get it? Okay, let's move to the next slide. The next slide is example of news item text. The example entitled Indonesia implements free lunch program for school children. In this example, there are even background and sources. So you can read the example and try to analyze the language features. The next is exercise. So after we learned about the definition, generic structure, and then language feature, you can access the exercise by the link or by scan the code in the PPT. So, okay, awesome work everyone. Today we learned about news items and what they are, their structure, and how they are written. Now you understand how journalists write the news we read every day. So, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson and thanks for being such great learners, and I'll see you next time. Stay curious and keep reading the news. Bye everyone!